welcome to the Chakra Diva Show. I am your host, Amber Poole, also known as the Chakra Diva. You can find me at thechakradivacom on Instagram, on Facebook, on website. I'm everywhere, YouTube. So tonight, I've missed you guys. Let me just say, I have missed you guys because I have been sick for the past 2 weeks, and I received so many emails and so much great support about being on the radio tonight. And first, I just want to say thank you, because that just filled my heart up, just receiving all of those good comments. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'm happy to be back. Obviously, I'm in a great space and I'm feeling really good. And I wanted to talk tonight about imprints in your chakras. And I love chakras. Obviously, I'm the Chakra Diva. That's what I do for my living. I read chakras, and I'm also an energy healer. So I'm not your typical psychic for future things, but if you want to align to your truth, align to your light, your soul, of your purpose, or manifest, I am your girl. So I wrote some notes down. I'm going to keep looking down. I hope that's okay for a second as we talk about imprints tonight, because they're probably the thing that comes up most often within a session with me, but I'm going to teach you guys how to do it as well. So chakras are energy portals, if you don't know, that run throughout your system, and I work with 8 of them. So the Earth Star Chakra, root, sacral, solar, your heart, your throat, your third eye, and your crown chakra. And within these chakras, we hold onto imprints. And these are images, these are people, there's beliefs, there's contracts that all come up. All right. And why do they come up? They come up so that we can release them, so that we can manifest something better, so that we can let go of them. So we are creators, and I teach people how to stand into their creativity and into their manifestation power. So one of the things that I see first within imprints are usually the shadow side or the shadow aspects of things. So if you had a divorce, or if you have trauma, or even if you have like relationship issues with mom and dad, or your brother and sister, whatever it may be, I can see them first. And it comes up because, again, it needs to be resolved. I had a group session a few weeks ago, and it was my first group session. I've done individual sessions for years, and I decided to have some growth, step out, and I went to a place which was really neat. It was like a salt place. So you have Himalayan salt below your feet to detox. And everybody was in this beautiful group. And this woman said to me, well, what you're doing, or the information that you're calling people out on, is really personal. And I absolutely agree. It is personal, so that we can bring it to the front end for awareness and for growth. So even I have to push myself and say, okay, in my chakra, I see that it's time for a growth period. We need to step out. How come you're not stepping out? And I have to look at the shadow in order to embrace it as well. So it's all about awareness, and it's about opportunity. So coming to me for a session will give you those things, the growth and the opportunities, but there's also things in your field that are not so obvious and on the subconscious level. And sometimes I hear people's names. I'll say, oh, I hear Ed, who is Ed, and Spirit doesn't talk to me in sentences. It would be amazing if Spirit could talk to me in full sentences, but usually it's through symbols and feelings, and I hear a lot of stuff, but not complete sentences. And somebody might say, well, that's my coworker, or that's just a friend, or that's so-and-so, but I don't really talk to them. And it doesn't matter. It just means that their energy is on your field. So if I'm reading your field, I name things that are in it. Again, the beliefs, the contracts, the people, and it needs to come to the surface so that we can release it and let go. So I'm going to tell you 3 principles about energy. And it's like all the time, this is how energy works. Principle number 1, we are always exchanging energy. So even that person who you don't talk to and is across the room, you may be subconsciously exchanging energy or courting each other. And it might not be an attractive thing. You might not be like, that's my soulmate over there, but just an average person, whatever that may mean to you, it doesn't matter. There's always an exchange of energy. So when I puff out my aura and get it really, really big, and then I go into, let's say, a gas station, people stop and they look at me, and there's an exchange in energy. And it's not that I am, drop dead gorgeous or anything. It's just that my aura, my energy field is just really expanded at that time. So I'm exchanging energy with people, and usually you tell because they'll look at you, they'll smile at you, or they might say hi to you. These are all things that say that you're having, an exchange. Even when you go out to a restaurant and you sit down and you catch somebody's eye across the room, there's an exchange of energy in there. And I can usually find it when somebody's imprint, unless it's released, unless it's let go. Sometimes we go, why did that person look at me? Do I have something in my teeth? What's going on here? And that's when it gets stuck into our field. So energy is always exchanging constantly. It's always moving. If it's stuck in your field, it means that something isn't processed. And that's why I can pick up on the shadow side so much easier. So if it's, again, divorce, trauma, relationships, whatever it may be that comes up in your field, if it's not processed, it still lingers in your energy. I know a lot of clients say, well, I resolved that situation. And you might have resolved it in the mental field or in the emotional field, but we also have to resolve it in the energetic field or the spiritual field as well. So disconnecting of other people's energy is always a plus so that you have your own energy and you know what you are all about. So rule number 1, exchange of energy is happening all the time. Rule number 2, energy needs to move through your body. All right. If energy is stuck in your body, an imprint that is low vibrational or the shadow aspect of you, it can cause dis-ease, right? There can be a manifestation into the physical body, but usually we don't hold on to our happiness, right? What happens? You get happy, you get excited, and then that energy just moves right through you. But if you're upset, frustrated, angry, lower vibrations, then we kind of linger on it or hang on to it until it's processed to release it. So we don't want that to happen. Rule number 3, there's no time in energy. And this is probably my favorite principle just to use all the time, because I always have to remind myself, people want to know, what's my future like? What do you see me in 6 months? Where do you see me at in a year? And there's no time and energy. You can go into the past, right? You can call all of these old memories you have. You can go into the future. And you can also be in the present. It's all energy. So there's no time and energy. I'm going to tell you 2 stories really quick that come to mind. One of them is my favorite story. And I was reading a woman and I said, oh, I see pearls. Now, pearl can indicate, number 1, a person's name, right? I have an Aunt Pearl, so it could be a person's name. Number 2, it can also be like a pearl necklace or a ring or some kind of piece of jewelry. So I mentioned these pearls to this woman, and she's like, I don't have any pearls. And we were talking about her mother, who she never met, right? So she said, I don't have any pearls. And I said, I don't know. I just keep seeing these pearls that pop up. And she wrote me the next morning and she said, do you know what you did? I was on Facebook last night and I was going through my feed and this woman was selling pearls out of oysters. Like, I guess you pop open an oyster and then they sell a pearl or you auction it off. I have no idea. Anyhow, so she was watching it and she said the woman's last name was the same name as her mom's last name. So she reached out to this woman and said, hey, do you know so-and-so? And it turned out to be her mom's sister. Now pause on that for a moment. The fact that I saw a pearl, which is no time, didn't mean anything to her at that moment. It was a future thing. And she saw the pearls later that night. She was able to make a connection. Now that is how spirit works and communicates. The other story that I want to share with you is my other client I kept seeing in August, which is just, when you're going through timeline, people in the physical world like to know time. They like to know months. And I said, I don't know. I see lots of money coming to you in August, but I'm really confused because I see fish. And he's like, you see fish? And I said, I see fish. And he was holding on to that imprint. And I don't know how many months it was later, but he wrote me an email. He said, you wouldn't believe I went to the aquarium and I was watching fish And I got a phone call, which made me a lot of money. And I thought, isn't that cool? So sometimes when I'm reading imprints, it's not the negative, it's not the bad, but it's actually the future and things that happen. It comes through for me on images. The whole entire point is to open up your psychic or intuitive abilities so that you can connect in and understand how symbols or spirit works with you, and then read through your chakras and find out what needs to be released that's not like in your highest field, or what's going on in the future, what's happening, coming up for you in the next few months, whatever it may be. There's a lot of other things in your chakras too that we'll discuss in the future, but it's very important to find these imprints so that you can connect with them. You have the awareness and you can release them if you need to, or you can keep them for manifestation, such as my fish and the aquarium and August, right? That was very important for this guy. So in order to read and find your imprints, obviously you're going to have to start opening up your intuitive abilities, your psychic abilities, whatever that may be, and have fun and experiment, right? I love to connect to the light, no matter what I'm doing. When I wake up in the morning, I connect to the light. If I'm in the shower, I connect to the light. And the light can be source energy. It can be God. It can be, I always say, all things divine, love, light, happiness, joy. I like that frequency. It's my favorite frequency. So I go into the light and I call the light, ask the light to come in, and I visualize it like pouring down, down, down into my crown chakra, clearing out into my mind, going into my throat chakra, going into my heart, going all the way down your solar, your sacral, your root, into your feet, and out of your feet into the ground. And in the middle of the ground, Mother Earth has this beautiful trampoline. I don't know if you've seen the trampoline yet, but that's how I see it. It's a trampoline. And the energy goes all the way down into the trampoline and it boom, right back up. And when it goes back up, it comes back through your feet. Now, that's vitality energy. That's the good stuff that gets you pumped up for the day. So going down is divine energy, connecting into your physical self. Going up is vitality energy to energize you throughout the day. And I bring this energy all the way up through my chakras, but I stop at my heart. And from my heart, I just radiate energy out and around me. And that clears out anything that is not mine in my imprints around my aura. And it also expands my heart chakra, which is things that you want to do to be high vibrational and connect into the good light. So I expend it all the way out and around me, clearing out all of my field. And I start my day like that. And if I'm having a crappy day in the middle of the day, then I do that as well. But you can get so good at it that when you're coming in and bringing in the light, all of a sudden you'll hear things. Like I'll hear sadness, frustration, anger. I'll see images such as the pearls or such as fish. Last night we did a group reading and I saw a bear. And I kept telling this woman, I'm like, there's a bear, there's a bear. And she's like, I don't think there's a bear. And then she called me today and she says, oh, the bear is a dog's name. And I'm like, oh, okay, fantastic. So there was the connection there. So it's not always literal. Sometimes it's very symbolic that comes through. But you want to write down or bring in any impressions that you get. I like to go through the emotions and clear out the emotions, call myself out on that, frustration, anger. I just did a session just an hour ago and it was depression. So we have to bring it to the forefront so that we have the awareness so that we can clear it out of our field. So if you see something, I don't care if it's a unicorn, you write down that you saw a unicorn in your throat chakra because there is some kind of meaning, some imprint of why it's there. And you will figure it out as you go. When I have a session with somebody and they say, not making the dots, not connecting it, then I say, that's okay, we'll skip it. I'm still going to write it down. A lot of my session is, I'm going to write it down so that other people, when they come back, right, they can go, oh, you know what? You did say this. I didn't get it at the time, but I might get it, a few months from now, or something happened that the information comes in later. So imprints, there's no time in your energy field. It could be in the future. It could be now. It could be something from the past that you held on to. If it's something from the past that you held on to, then you have to clear it out. This is what I do. I love the technique. Is it mine or is it someone else's? If it's someone else's, I send it back to the sender. I return to sender. That's what I always say. I return to sender and I send it out. If I find an imprint that I don't like, let's say I find a belief that I can't make money or a belief that I'm always late for everything, then I cancel, clear, and delete. So I'm saying the words to the universe, cancel, clear, delete. And then I release that energy and I put in a new imprint. So a new imprint would be anything, any affirmation that counteracts that. So I want you just to try it. Just be open. Allow the light to come in. Allow it to expand in your heart chakra. Connect in, and just any imprints you receive, start writing them down. I don't care how crazy they are, because we have Kathy.
Yes.
How are you doing today?
Very well, thank you.
Fantastic. So how can I help you? I'm really good at clearing out chakras. You tell me what you need.
Okay. Well, I'm living with a roommate now, and I'm just wondering what the future holds, if she's going to stay here or if she will move on.
She's going to stay here or if she's going to move on. All right. I am going to pull out my cards. Do you have a brother?
Okay.
Sorry. You have a brother? Can you hear me?
What'd you get?
Oh, I said, do you have a brother?
Oh, yes. Yes, I do.
Okay. I'm getting brother energy off of you.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to go around that as well. All right. Your roommate. Is your roommate going to stay? Oh,
Yeah, my brother doesn't like her.
Well, I almost feel like there is, not that I don't like her. I just feel like I want somebody that I can be like friends with and I can hang out with. And it's more than just a roommate or a closer connection with that. And there's a part of me that says, how can you get her out? There's a part of me that says, well, I need her to stay because of reasons. But I energetically would like to see you with somebody that matches your frequency. But when I am pulling out my cards, I see the angel of strength comes in.
Yeah.
I also see a shift. I'm going to say in February. It's at the beginning of the year that there's going to be a shift in there. I keep hearing the word temporary. I feel energetically, I want to find somebody that I am in alignment with, that feels really good in my energy field.
Okay.
More on a friend. And I feel like, there's always cycles. There's always change of seasons that come up for everybody, but there's going to be a different shift of energy at the beginning of the year. So that's going to be, I keep getting February around there. I would keep it on the back burner. I don't know if you're going to post for a roommate, but I see her there through the holidays.
No.
Okay. I see her there through the holidays, though. But I would really love to see you with somebody who energetically matches your vibration.
Okay. That makes sense.
All right. Wonderful. Can I clear out your energy or anything for you?
That'd be great.
Fantastic. All right. I draw you as a beautiful gingerbread woman, which I can't draw stick figures, so I draw everybody as a gingerbread person. And I am just going to look in between. Your root chakra is, so sometimes when we expend our energy or if we're like in need of something, our root chakra gets bigger, or any chakra gets bigger. So that's family, finances, safety, and security. And we're just talking about your roommate, so that makes sense. You're clearing out something emotionally from your field right now. So emotions, which is good. Your chakra's working beautifully because it's going backwards, and that's exactly what you need. It clears out the energy so that it doesn't get stuck into you. Let's go up. All right, but then I go into your solar plexus, and your solar plexus is all about taking action and moving forward. And what I hear is indecision with something, indecision that comes up. So we want to get that one moving so that you are confident in the action that you need to take moving forward. But that's the action one.
Good.
Then you have your heart chakra. Your heart chakra spins very, very fast. So you are a very giving person. Did you ever have a pet bird?
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Fantastic. You have a pet bird in your heart chakra.
Oh.
Yes.
Nice.
So, right? So that's still the imprint of your birdie. Is it a parrot?
Yes.
So
parakeet. Sorry, parakeet.
Parakeet. Okay. Still in your heart chakra. So know that your bird hasn't actually left you. It's still right around you. All right. Let's come up into your throat chakra. Okay. So your throat chakra is also clearing out. So when I went into your emotions earlier, there's something that was said that needed to be released, or there was something that is clearing out. Could have been an argument or a disagreement. But again, it's clearing out of your system, which is really good.
Good.
So I like that too. Do you know who Patty is?
Patty?
Mm-hmm.
No. No, I don't think so.
That's all right. I'm writing down the energy. You might call me back a few months later and be like, guess who my new roommate is? That's how energy works.
Yep.
I love it. Let me go into your third eye. Your third eye is also going in balance, which is backwards. So usually that just means that you can't see the bigger picture that's happening. Like we all love to have goals and see the finish line of how something's going to be complete. But if we don't have the full image, then it's also clearing out as well. And into your crown, you're very connected in with spirit. If you like it or not, there's a woman around you. It was crossed over. She's on the other side. But I also saw a rose that came forward for me. So I didn't know if that was a name or an actual image, but a rose that comes forward. Is this Mom?
Yeah. Yeah, my mother.
Fantastic. So know that she is with you at this time, supporting you, and just to ask her, hey, can you help me out on the other side and give me information or what I need to know to move through the steps that I need to take, because she would be there to support you.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for calling in, Kathy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Very much. Have a good night. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. So that's how chakras work. You go through and you clear out any imprints within the field, and you hear them, you see them. Obviously, I use my pendulum all the time, and I've had a pendulum since I was probably 12. But I feel very connected with it, is using it as my tool. So don't be scared to embrace any tools. Use them so that they can help you, and ask, what are your chakras doing? Are they open? Are they aligned? Are they imbalanced? What do I need to clear out? Now, as in Kathy's energy field, she is where she is right now in life, which makes her chakras like spin in certain directions. And as you move forward and make decisions or make any kind of different things in your life, so maybe she gets a new roommate next month, then what happens is your energy will shift as well. When we are in alignment with ourself, with our soul, with our higher self, then our chakras spin all the same way. It was funny because one of my favorite I always say my favorite sessions. They're all my favorite sessions because I love my people so much. This lady was getting married and she's like, I just want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing. And she laid down on my table and I went through her chakras and perfectly aligned, perfectly spaced out beautifully. And she was so excited. She squealed, yes, okay, I'm going to go marry him. And it was kind of like this beautiful validation that because her energy was in alignment, that she is on the right path and making the right decision for her soul at that time. That's the benefit of checking out your chakras. That's the benefit of being in alignment and saying, hey, what's going on in my chakra? Why isn't it open? Now, again, there's other things that happen in your chakras. There's people, there's contracts, there's belief systems to clear out. And we're going to talk about all of these things in the upcoming radio sessions. So thank you so much for just being with me and being on the radio with me and calling in. Please continue to support me via Facebook. That's where I talk with all the time, is on Facebook. I try to get over there as much as often as possible that I can, through YouTube and also on my website at thechakradeva.com. If you would like a chakra reading or a mediumship reading, I do offer mediumship because your loved ones come in because they want to create balance and love within your life. Then please just reach out and connect. I will see you next week when we are going to discuss, maybe we discuss past lives in our chakras, or perhaps we could do karmic patterns. You can do ancestral stuff. There's so much to look at in chakras. Connect to the light, connect to yourself, live in alignment. Have a great week, and I'll see you next Thursday.